Lesson 35, Part 2 is Exponents in Use. Go ahead and write that title into your notes and then push play when you're ready to begin. And before we even get into seeing exponents in use, there's a couple things I want in your notes. The first thing is any base to the 1 power is going to be that number. What this means is if I had 4 to the 1 power, that means 4. 5 to the 1 power is 5. 8 to the 1 power is 8. 1,532,000 to the 1 power is 1,532,000, right? So any number, x, means any number, any mystery number. So any number to the 1 power is itself. So I do want that part to be in your notes. And I also want in your notes that any number to the 0 power is always 1. So if I had 4 to the 0 power, it would be 1. 5 to the 0 power is 1. 8 to the 0 power is 1. 1,532,000 to the 0 power is, any guesses? 1. Yeah, did you hear Rosie? She guessed on that. Okay, so what do exponents look like when you're using them in real-world situations, or how would you use this skill in real-world situations? So here's an example of how you would use it. I found 3 Pokemon cards in a cabinet. I kept checking other cabinets, and every cabinet I checked, the amount of cards doubled. That happened as I looked through 5 more cabinets. How many cards did I end up finding? This is the sort of question you'd use the skill of exponents. You could solve this without exponents being used, but it would take a while. It's going to take a while either way, but it would take a while. Anytime, and this next part that I write down, I don't want you to write down. I do want you to write down this. Go ahead and pause to write that down, and then push play when you have it. Okay, I'm going to show you one way that somebody might solve it, but then after that, I'm going to show you how you could use exponents to solve it. So on this first part that I'm going to write in blue here, don't copy this part down. So what somebody might do is they might say, well, I have 3 and it doubled, so that's 3 plus 3 is 6. And then from there, that's 1 doubling. Then from there I did 6 plus 6 is 12, that's 2 doublings. And then plus 12 is 24 doublings. And then you're going to keep going until you get through all the cabinets. So, I mean, that you could find it that way, and you would get the answer. But if you end up getting, if we did more than 5 cabinets, that would take you a long time. So here's how you would do this, make use of your exponent knowledge to do something like this. You have 3 cards. 3. This part I do want you to copy down. I'll change the color. I do want you to copy this part down. So you have 3 cards. And what you do is you multiply that times the doubling that's going to happen. Double means 2, right? So it's 2, and it's going to double every 5 times. So for every cabinet, so you're going through 5 cabinets, and each cabinet, it's doubling, and it does that 5 times. So it doubles 5 times. And it started with 3. So it's 3 times 2 to the 5th is the math that you will do to find the answer to something like this. So this is where this type of question is where you would use your exponent knowledge. So once you do that, and we'll be talking more about order of operations, but order of operations dictates that you have to do this first. So we'll do that first. So we would do the super stubborn step. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. You should be writing all of this down, not this stuff. 4, 4, and 2, just like the previous lesson. And that is 16 times 2. And 16 times 2 is 32. That's just for the 2 to the 5th power. Now we have to multiply it all by 3. So 32 times 3 is 96. So after looking through all of the cabinets, I would have found 96 cards. So that's how you would use exponents to solve a question like that. Okay, this is another we do, and then after this it'll be a you do, so we should have 3 total practice problems. And I do want you to write this down as well, because it's important that you have the type of question you might use this for in your notes in case you see questions like this later. You can refresh your memory. I went looking for pennies. On the first day I found 2 pennies. Every day after that I found 3 times as many as the day before. I did that for 4 days. How many pennies did I have after the 4 days? Go ahead and copy that down. Push pause so you can copy that and play when you have it copied. So how you would solve this is you'd start off with the amount of pennies you found on the first day. It was 2. And then after that, I found 3 times as many, meaning that it's going to triple every day. So it's tripling 3 times as many, and it's going to do that for 4 days. That's your exponent. So it triples, it triples, it triples. Now I could do, don't write this part down over here, but I could do 2 times 3 is 6, that's 1 day. Then that times 3 is 18, that's 2 days. And then that times 3 is 54, that's 3 days. And I could keep going and I would get the answer. But this would be a little bit faster of a way to get it. So here's how it would work now that I have it all set up. This is do the exponent first and do Mrs. Sanchez's super stubborn step on that. That's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 9 times 9, which is 81. And I'm going to take that 81 that this equals and multiply it by 2. And I get 162. So I would have 162 pennies after those 4 days. And of course, over on this section over here, you can see that if I'd gone on one more time for that 4th day times 3, 162, 4 days. So I could do it this way if I only had 4 days. But it's important that you recognize that this is an approach to it in the event that you end up with a question like this that has it for like 7 or 8 or 9 days. And so you can make it a little bit simpler by taking care of that. That is how you would, those are the types of questions you would see for needing your knowledge of exponents. Okay, now this is the you do. Copy this down. On the first day of school, I got 3 smiley stickers. Every day after that, I got double the amount of stickers than I had the day before. It was like that for 6 days. How many stickers did I have after the 6 days? So go ahead and copy that down, push pause, and then push play, or actually keep it paused. See if you can use what you know of exponents to solve that through and come up with an answer, and push play when you think you've got it. All right, so I can approach this a couple of ways, but if I'm approaching it with my knowledge of exponents, this is how I would approach it. I got 3 smiley stickers on the first day, so 3 times. And every day after that, I got double. That's 2, then double the amount, then double the amount. And that went on for 6 days, so 2 to the 6th. So what I should have is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that's right. Okay. That is 4 times 4 times 4. And that is 16 times 4. 16 times 4 is 4, 5, 6, 64. So I've got over here the 2 to the 6 is the same as 64. So I've got 3 times 64 that I still need to do. It's a lot of stickers so far. So we're going to multiply that by 3. 12. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So I would have 192 stickers is the answer you should have gotten. Now I could have done it just like I said before, then you don't have to write this part down, but I could have said, well, I started with 3 and it doubled for 1 day, that's 6. Then it doubled for 2 days, that's 12. And it doubled, that's 24. And then it doubled, I ran out of room, so let's take 24 up here. 24, that's 48, that's 4 days. And it doubled, that's 96, that's 5 days. And it doubled, 9, 18, 19, 192 after the 6 days. So I could have done it that way. But as you can see, if you continue to go on for a while, that would take a while. It probably is faster to go this way. So anytime that you see things like this happening, where you're going to double it or triple it or whatever, you can use this knowledge here. All right, well, if this makes sense to you, go ahead and get your closure questions and give them a try. And if you need to rewind to any point to listen to it again, go ahead and do that. And if you still need further explanation, you can come see me. Great job today.